Where do I look when I'm speaking to a group? Hi, this is John Ruman. I'm an international business coach, consultant, corporate trainer, and honestly, I get to speak to groups all the time. So I love this question. It has a few caveats to it that kind of vary what the answer is, but let me get right to it. First of all, speaking to groups is fun and powerful and allows you to get your message out there. So I'm first of all, I need to applaud you for speaking to groups and having this be one of the issues that come up for you. First of all, it depends what size group you're speaking to. So if you're talking to a group 5 to 20 people and you're literally in a room with them, whether it be a conference room or a small little workshop you're running or something like that, look people in the eye and try to look everyone in the eye and make sure that they know that you are speaking to them. It's important that you don't stare at people, it'll make them uncomfortable, but it is also important that you understand that you make everyone feel recognized and important because they're looking at you. You would feel upset at someone if they were to start playing with their phone and you're talking to them or whatever. I would anyway. You may be different. So it's important that small groups, especially, you look people directly in the eye. Larger groups. So the bigger your stage that you're speaking, and it can be as small as 50. So I'm going to say like over 40. So 40 to the hundreds or thousands. You're going to have really, really bright lights on you. So even when I do these lives, and obviously this is me and you, and it's just a one-on-one conversation, I have lights on me. And if I were to place the camera with a group, it actually would be challenging for me with the brightness of these studio lights to see you as well as I could. So with smaller groups, the light's more normal. You can actually make eye-to-eye contact. It's important that you do look at several people. You're going to find that certain people you naturally are drawn to look at. Because of the size of the group, it's going to be nearly impossible to look at everyone. So I wouldn't even consider that. But probably more important than trying to look at everyone in the eye, move around the room if you can. If you are forced to use a stage or a microphone that's static, that's okay. But if you can move around and if you can somehow interact and make it so that people find you visually entertaining, they're going to, not necessarily funny and all that, but in other words, you need to key their attention. And if you can continue to hold it, there'll be moments where you will shine. And while people will remember points of what you say, they will almost never be able to quote you. But, and you may have heard this before, but you need to make them feel the overall feeling you are intending your talk to have. So as long as you are present with them, you're not distracted, you are in tune with them, you are really sharing a powerful message, whether it be emotional, personal, whatever, and you're connecting with enough of them and moving around the room enough that people can say, this person is a part of me. They're not better than I am. I'm not looking up at them, and they're not looking down at me, but we're sharing the same level. That's really important. And it actually coincides with the podium. Podiums are nice because your notes can be there. And if you're a president, if you're a prime minister, if you're someone who has screens that have a pre-written speech and you need to do that, that's fine. But most people should have a handful of bullets in their head, what they're talking about, and going with the flow and practiced well enough that it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good. And for a practiced speech giver, because they have done speaking enough, and because they have practiced tonality and proper pace of speaking, and understanding that allowing the audience to have a moment of absorbing the information and letting things settle, That is so much more powerful than other stuff. Going back to the podium often is a protective measure for inexperienced speakers. It acts as a level of authority. It's kind of like a place, and it can make people very comfortable. They can hold on to it and say, ah. But the problem is people won't relax and breathe deeply in their abdomen, and that comes across as tense to those who are watching. So I would encourage, if there's a podium, you put it on a part of the stage. You may have your list of, let's say, 7 or 8 bullets, and you may need to go back to it for a refresher to make sure you don't miss something you really wanted the audience to experience from a value perspective. But don't let it be something, unless you need to, that you hide behind. And your whole intent of eye contact is to create a connection with the audience. So how you move your physicality with your body, how you actually relate with them has more oomph than you simply trying to stare at every person's eye. And again, small groups, try to do it. Try to actually slowly make a connection with everyone if you can. But big groups, I mean, you got 100, 200, 300 people there. It's hard. So don't worry about it there, but make other things that you can do to create the connection. It's all about the connection. And again, the primary thing they're going to get from it is the feeling of the emotional tone that you're giving. And that is where you really make your impact. So if you want to become better at public speaking and you see the value of getting your message out there and doing it more effectively and potentially even being paid for it, or finding things that you've always wanted to address to a crowd, or things that are like a yearning within you, and you're not confident, you don't know how to prepare, you don't know where to put your hands when you're talking, you don't know some of the basics I talked about, like pace or tonality, things that can really add oomph to your presentation. If these things are foreign, I would encourage you check out the class I'm having. So let me tell you some details. It's 27th of January 2019. It is a 3-hour course. It's 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's 500 TT, prepay, 600 day of. I'm limiting it to 10 seats. I want people to have as much value as possible. I want them to be able to answer questions. Because we live in a very digital world, in addition, and I have all the details in the link on the description, but in addition, I will also go over lives and why lives are so important and why video content is so important and how to do it effectively. And what I will do in the class is actually we'll create a topic, and then I will do a 30 to 90 second live on that topic for you to show you the basics and to demonstrate that it can be done well without an hour of prep. And trust me, so the last one I did, for example, the last live I did in the last class I did, it was like 40 seconds, but it was exceptional. I mean, I'm not saying to say great job. All I'm saying is with practice, you do become better. And I was more astounded myself than maybe the class was. And the reason I bring this up is I used to do 8 to 20 takes depending on what I was saying. I like things good, but I also realized that with practice, skill is grown. And it was more important for me, instead of doing 100% perfect, to do 80, 85% perfect, and to have it have more of a chance to get in front of the people I meant to serve than to do fewer videos and have them be perfect. And what's funny is my bad videos now are better than my good videos were then. Even this is when I was doing 100%. So, long story short, you will get better. With practice, everything becomes easier. You'll be able to portray your message stronger. Your audience will resonate with the message better, and you're going to find that you can really give the value they need. And let me be totally honest with you, you have a gift. You have I would say, gifts. And I don't believe you're here by chance. I believe you are here to help humanity as a whole in the way only you can. And no one else can replace you. The statistic for someone else being born in the same situation you is 1 in 400 trillion. So you are unique, genuinely unique. There will never be another you. There will never be another spark of the divine expressing itself the way you do. And while you don't have to listen to the inner yearning you have within yourself that says, talk about this, spread this word, it doesn't mean that you have to have an audience of 1,000, 1,000,000, 1,billion people. It doesn't mean that. It could mean that, but more importantly, you need to understand how small the world is and how much what you say, even if it influences one person in such a powerful and profound way, how they act towards others may forever be changed. And humanity may be graced by such an incredible leader or game changer in the future, and that was heavily influenced by you because you were just that person, then you just need to understand that you don't play a small part in this game. And I want you to know that the world needs you. They don't need half of you. They don't need part of you. So the sooner you can get out of your way, the sooner you are going to live the life you want. And if you need help or support and all that, you can look to me personally as a coach and consultant. As long as I have time to do that, I'll do it. It's very fulfilling for me. I love helping people to achieve the greatness that is their birthright. So I look forward to seeing you speak in the future. And if you do come to my class, I promise you'll love it and find tremendous value in it. And I look forward to you expressing your gift so the world can grow the way you help it.